How can Africans move forward and be able to sustain development? Um, there's a question in my mind about whether um, the state of things at the moment, where we are actually so excited, myself as an African and so many other African people that I've seen on social media and everywhere across, are so excited about Ibrahim Traore and the wonderful work that he's doing in Burkina Faso. And the recent event where it seems as if there's a lot of threat against this man because of the way he's developing his country. And one question that I have in my mind is that is a savior mentality able to sustain Africa's development? The reason I ask this question is that in the past, we've had people like Gaddafi, we've had people like Thomas Sankara, we have people like Patrice Lumumba, and so many other African leaders that people will call Pan-Africanist, Pan-African leaders who have actually gone against the institutions and against colonial power and control, and have done some development for their people. We've heard of the ones who've asked countries like France and Britain and the United States and so many other Western powers that continue to exercise their control over the continent. We've seen presidents in the past or African leaders in the past who have asked them to leave and to continue to do this kind of development for their people, and we've seen how they ended up. But the question that we need to ask ourselves is that when these leaders are taking out the way that they were taking out, why is it that the development that those leaders started were not sustainable? And the reason that we need to ask ourselves this kind of question is that we want to be conscious that these histories do not continue to repeat itself. We want to be sure that that the mindset we have at the moment, where we just see one person as a savior and then we continue to just put only that person on the line and never try to build a manual or never try to build a foundation or an institution that will keep that kind of leadership and that kind of development sustainable for the future. And the fact that we as people also are not so inclined to do practical things like understand the power of community, of cooperation, the power of we are the ones doing it, not just one person doing it. And as long as we don't understand how to do these things, how to do this manually, how to do this practically, to put a system together that will sustain our development, that will also mean that it is not just one person that this whole burden comes to, but that it is a whole people, that is the entire people of Africa, that knows that this burden is upon each and every one of us to do our own part. That it's not just about Ibrahim Traore and it's not just about one leader, because this is the reason why that when that one leader is taken out, we go back to 100 years behind. We go back to square one. We go back to serious underdevelopment, and we go back into the shock, that usual shock that makes us continue to live in the fear and continue to allow external power and external control. And you know, these Western powers, they do understand us so well. They have studied our behavior, and they know that they only need to wait for a few years. They only need to wait for all the ranting, all the emotional talk, and all the conversation and all the boasting and the proud way of talking, and the threat and all of the empty kind of, how will I call it, threats and talks that has no substance in it. They just have to wait for these things to pass, and then they will do what they have to do, because they have built an institution, and they haven't just built an institution, they have built a manual that will help them to know what to do in order to get back control of the resources of Africa. They have also built a community that understands the importance of culture preservation, a community that understands the importance of we all have to do it together, that understand the importance of the practical work, not just the talking and not just the emotion part of it. So as a work that continues to go on the ground amongst the Caucasians and every single aspect of the society. They are people who are responsible for managing things or taking or doing practical things that helps the environment, that helps children, that helps elderly people, that helps the vulnerable people, that that deal with politics of the day. Every single aspect and every single sector have working groups behind the scene that does all of the practical things. So it's not just about talking and hoping and praying for one person to emerge that will do all the talking, that will do all the work, and then we can and then we glorify the person and we just put the person there, and when the person is taken out, we have no foundation and nothing to stand on. I'm saying all of this because because of the the statement that was made by that army general in the United States concerning Ibrahim Traore, we all went on to start to do to do whatever we can do to try and give our support. And as usual, a lot of us Africans started to talk about it. People started to get emotional. People started to make threats. People started to say, well, we're going to join the army. Burkina Faso need to let African young people go and join the army in Burkina Faso. In as much as I know that this kind of emotional first reaction is something that a leader like Ibrahim Traore will be very conscious of, because he knows that if everybody is allowed from different countries just to come and join the army because they're emotional about it, you can face having the wrong people in that army, and that would be a bigger danger. But one of the things that I also went on to do was that I set up a petition trying to get our same people, same Africans who are talking and complaining and emotional, to try and sign these petitions. And at the moment, that petition is only stuck at 50 people. And if you look at social media, you'll see millions and millions of videos going around of people talking and all of those things happening. Another thing that is interesting as well is that if you go to change.org and you look at the petition that I've put up, and then you look at the other petitions, you say, for instance, in Ireland where I am, there's so many other petitions there, petitions to protect Catholic school, petition to make sure that victims of abuse get more sentencing, all of these petitions. You will see people, Caucasians, who understand that these things matter for their society to be good, for the future of their children, and for the future and for the future generation. They spend their resources in it. They promote it. People put their own money into promoting that kind of petition. A lot of people encourage each other. They do sign it. They practically put that work into it, and they go ahead to do the right thing. They understand that it is through these mediums like this that you can get things done, not just talking alone. But when it comes to us, if we're charged with responsibilities like that, we're not able to do it. And it's so unfortunate, because this is the reason we cannot sustain development. This is the reason we cannot actually sustain progress, because we do not understand the manual to how things are really done on a practical level. The talking alone will not help us, so we have to learn what other people do in order to develop, in order to grow, and in order to build things. So this is a challenge for all of us Africans, to start to get ourselves disciplined enough that we participate practically in things, and we don't glorify one person and give them that responsibility and just start to praise them and make them another authoritative leader, because of the way that we don't see that it is for all of us to do the job, not for just one person to be doing the job. So let's get into the habit of doing practical things rather than just talking. Thank you.